It has been a while since I've had an opportunity, an excuse to talk about Marvel's Spider-Man here on this channel, but today we got a teeny tiny little update about Marvel Spider-Man 3. Now, Insomniac hasn't given official word that Marvel Spider-Man 3 is being developed, the same way that they didn't give us official word about Spider-Man 2, but we know what's happening, okay? It's just like, it's a given, okay? You know, the second game got all this critical acclaim, it sold millions upon millions of copies, there's a PC port out there right now as well. Tons of success for the Marvel Spider-Man franchise. It's a very easy bet that Spider-Man 3 is being made right now. And if you still had any doubt, well, Yuri Lowenthal, the voice of Peter Parker in the Marvel Spider-Man franchise, has confirmed the third game exists, and he's also actually talked about it. There was an interview with the Direct, and here is the headline. Spider-Man 3 PS5 star confirms what we all suspected about the new game's story. The subheader reading, a Spider-Man PS5 star teased what comes next for his character in the third game. And I mean, we all remember that at the end of Marvel Spider-Man 2, he hugs it out with Miles and he kind of tells him, hey, I need to take a little bit of a break and I trust you to take care of the city. A lot of people were starting to take that in such a way of like, wait, hold on, is Peter retiring? Like, that's it? We're not gonna have Peter in Marvel Spider-Man 3? And there was like weirdly an outrage about this. There were genuinely people who believed we were gonna get a Spider-Man 3 from Insomniac without Peter Parker's Spider-Man. And I really did not think that this would have to be something that's spelled out for people, but I guess it is. It's the same way where I didn't think I had to ask you guys to hit the thumbs up button. I just assume that you've done it already. Anyways, on to the article here. It says, Spider-Man 3 PS5 will be holding on to one key character amid fears he will step back following the last game's ending. Insomniac Games has already released 3 Spider-Man games, including 2 mainline chapters and the Miles Morales spin-off. As their success continues, the franchise is expected to return with Spider-Man 3 on PS5. I'll be honest, I don't actually think that we're gonna get Spider-Man 3 on the PS5. I think that if this game is coming out in several years from now, we might get it on the PlayStation 6. But let's continue with the article. It says here, Insomniac Games Peter Parker actor Yuri Lowenthal spoke exclusively with the Direct on February 22nd at Multicon, a benefit held for LA wildfire recovery, and the topic of Spider-Man 3, of course, came up. And then it says here, Spider-Man 2 ended with Peter Parker setting down his web-slinging mantle for now and leaving Miles Morales to take care of New York. Peter will seemingly be putting his personal life first for some time while continuing the Emily May Foundation from his garage and remaining a mentor to Miles. And you know, we just talked about that. Like I said, the ending of the game had that kind of passing of the torch moment, but I really don't think that what they were trying to tell people was that this is it. We're no longer getting Peter Parker Spider-Man. So much is being built up for Spider-Man 3. We got Cindy Moon introduced, so we might be getting we might have a third playable spider hero in this next game. On top of that, obviously the post-credit scene is teasing that Norman Osborn is going to be teaming up with Doc Ock. We're going to get the 2 biggest Spider-Man villains working together. Arguably, the Joker to his Batman, Green Goblin, finally going to be the main villain of a game in Spider-Man 3. We got this whole G Serum thing teased as well. So I think the Green Goblin, he's on his way. And you do not do the Green Goblin. You do not do the Green Meanie and not have Peter Parker Spider-Man involved. I think we all know that as fans of Spider-Man. I think Insomniac would have to know that as fans of Spider-Man. And I think that it's just very, very, very obvious that Peter Parker Spider-Man is not actually stepping down, but maybe he will after the events of the third game, or who knows, they might end up killing off Peter. I think what that ending in Spider-Man 2 was trying to communicate was just a level of trust between Peter and Miles. Peter saying, Miles, you can do this. You do not need me there all the time. And it's true. I mean, Miles was able to hold his own during the events of Spider-Man Miles Morales, and during the events of Spider-Man 2, Miles was there for pivotal moments to help Peter. And he showcased that he is just as strong. He is able to hold his own, and he is able to help even reform some of his greatest villains. But if you still have a tinge of doubt, if you're still like, what's going on with Spider-Man 3 with Peter Parker? What's happening here? Yuri Lowenthal has an answer for you. Going back to the article, it says, during the interview, the Direct's Russ Milheim asked Lowenthal what Spider-Man 2's ending means for Peter's future in the next game. The actor confirmed, as expected, that Peter, quote, won't be relegated to the couch and instead will have a key role in Spider-Man 3's plot. And here's a direct quote from Yuri Lowenthal, exactly what he said at that con. There are very few things that I can say about this game, but you have somehow landed on the one thing that I can answer, and that's that yes, Peter is not gone. He will be part of the next game, and he won't be relegated to the couch I promise. So there you have it, a teeny tiny little update about Marvel's Spider-Man 3 coming directly from the voice actor of Peter Parker in the Marvel Spider-Man franchise. And hopefully we can put this debate to rest. Hopefully people can stop talking about whether or not Peter Parker is going to be in Spider-Man 3 and whether or not he's going to be suiting up as Spider-Man in the game. I didn't think that this was a question that needed to be answered personally, but there was so much discourse about this online when Spider-Man 2 came out. We can put that aside now. He won't be relegated to the couch. Yuri Lowenthal confirms it. He promised us. But also, I do think that it's kind of cool that he was able to talk about Spider-Man 3 in any capacity. It's so weird with these games. Usually, again, we know that they're making them, but for some reason, knowing that they're making them and then officially announcing them are two very different things. It isn't like, the MCU where they show up at San Diego Comic-Con and announce their slate of the next, 10 Marvel movies. With the games, everything is so lock and key. But I'm glad that Yuri Lowenthal was able to answer that question and confirm that he's going to have a presence in Marvel Spider-Man 3. And again, I think it's really important that he is going to, considering the stakes and considering what's being built up. If you're going to have Green Goblin be the main villain of the next game, you're going to have him go up against Peter Parker's Spider-Man. That is Peter Parker's arch nemesis. I know a lot of people see Venom as the tippy top Spider-Man villain. It's always been Green Goblin, in my opinion. And even then, there are several people out there that think Doc Ock is the #1 Spider-Man villain or the arch nemesis for Peter Parker's Spider-Man. So it'd make even more sense if you're gonna have Doc Ock and Green Goblin or Norman Osborn teaming up for it to be Peter Parker Spider-Man who has to step up to the plate. Either way, I am extremely excited to see what the future holds for this franchise. I'm really hyped to see what they're gonna do with this third game. I'm only slightly skeptical about Silk, about Cindy Moon. And I'm only skeptical because we're gonna have to suspend a lot of disbelief, all right? I think I was able to suspend enough disbelief that Miles Morales was able to become another Spider-Man in this universe, but for Cindy Moon to also become a third Spider-Person, damn, we gotta put away the spiders, guys. Let's lock them up. We'll have to wait quite a while, though, until we start hearing some official news for Marvel Spider-Man 3 in terms of, reveals and trailers and all that stuff. Again, I don't think that this game comes out until we get, the PlayStation 6. And we're obviously going to be hearing and seeing a lot more about Marvel's Wolverine before we hear anything about Spider-Man 3. Insomniac are very, very busy. But hey, with that being said, let me now kick it to you guys. Sound off with your thoughts in the comments section below. What do you think about Yuri Lowenthal's comments here about Marvel Spider-Man 3 and about the fact that he's not going to be relegated to the couch? And I'd also like to mention anything and everything Insomniac Marvel games related, whether it's about Wolverine, Spider-Man 3, or just in general Marvel and DC games. You can keep it locked right here to this channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you got those notifications on. I've been Caboose. I'll see you guys later.
What are you writing?
The final chapter.